So check it out. Look what happens when you leave your Kenworth sit too long. Look at that nest. Holy cow. Oh, they're mad.
Ow! Ow! Oh, they're defending themselves somehow.
Oh, what a treat. Give them some of the good stuff. Now that is a nest. Oh, beauty. Having a little campfire this morning. Hopefully that's the end of the old Kenworth wasps. There, right. May they rest in peace. We'll get going on getting this this truck started. I haven't started all summer, so we'll just do some quick checks to make sure we got oil and coolant and all that good stuff. Now you'll notice I took off the intake pipe, and I got my trusty runaway board with me. And the reason I did that is I'm starting to get a little nervous about this turbo, mainly because when I was running it, I was getting a lot of oil. Just for kicks, I actually hooked this up to my camper and was dragging it around a little bit. And I was getting a lot of oil out of the exhaust. So I'm thinking it's one of two things. It could be the oil seal here, because there's a feed. There's an oil feed that runs that supports gives fluid to the bearing. And either the seal's passing into the exhaust and it's just merely blowing out the exhaust, or if the seal's gone, that's my worry, is it could pass into the intake. And then you can actually get a runaway where the engine just runs on the oil by itself and not the diesel fuel. So just check out diesel runaways if you want to see an example of that. So that's why what you would do in that case is you would simply put the board there and snuff off the air, and that would stop the engine. Now when I check the in and out is a little bit of a click, but side to side isn't. So I don't know, maybe it's just a seal. What I'll probably do is once I start getting this thing where I want it and start taking it all down for the kickoff of the restoration project, I'll probably take this turbo in and just get the local shop to give it the once over and make sure that it's all good, because last thing we want is a runaway on this old girl. Okay, let's see if we can get her going. Okie-doke. Dead batteries. Getting a little more clay delivered. These guys were doing a job nearby, so they're gonna bring me a bunch of loads, which is just awesome. Ah, it's good clean stuff. The base of the future twin stick garage right there. Oh, nice. Beauty. Okay, this battery's been charging for a while, so let's see if it's enough to get it going. Now I am aware that this blue button here is for the tractor. I was just used to my Peterbilt one where the third button was just to air the trailer. So in my last video there I got a little confused as to why it wouldn't release when this guy was out. But anyway, figured it out now. So blue is tractor, and sometimes I think the Peterbilt's more black or navy blue, so maybe black is for trailer. But anyway, both got to be in to allow you to move around. All right, let's see if this thing can still roll on its own. Oh yeah, like it wasn't even parked. Oh, I love the steering in this thing. Compared to the Pete, it's just a dream. Oh, my mirror, I can't see anything. Oh, and I had the guy drop off some of my dirt. He actually whacked it this truck. I said it was no big deal though. We gotta replace it anyway as part of the restoration. I would like it past my trailer. Yeah. Oh, this truck turns nice. Nice little short chassis. I sure wanted that cab over. Reading the comments, I think it's already gone. I think someone picked it up. It was just too good of a deal. That thing would have turned pretty sweet too, but one at a time. We're gonna start taking this truck apart. And what I'd like to do is get the frame sandblasted before winter. Sandblasted and primed and painted. That would be the goal. So we'll try and do that. And yeah, so I think in this video what we'll do is we'll start tearing stuff off this Kenworth. The Pete's not quite done yet. A couple little things, some wiring, some lights, stuff like that, but I don't think that's too exciting. So I think we're gonna start tearing into this, and in between I'll just try and finish up the Pete. Now of course it still needs paint, but I'm not about to paint it before winter. But I am gonna try and get this thing, like I say, torn apart and torn down, sandblast, primed, painted, at least the frame, and then I'm going to try and maybe roll it into the garage so I don't have to work outside all winter, and we'll just start picking away at it. So check this out. I was just poking around on the latest Ritchie Brothers auction on the timed auction site. I was obviously couldn't afford any new trucks, and probably shouldn't because I already got two. I don't need any more for now. I got enough projects, but I looked and there was truck parts, and so I put a starting bid of $5 on it, and I can't remember what my max bid, a few hundred, because I really wanted these air cleaners because these match the movie exactly. So I put the starting bid of $5, max bid of $300. And when the time ran out, going once, going twice, sold. I got them for $5. What a deal. And I think they're almost exact replicas of what I was looking for the Smokey and the Bandit truck. And I got a bunch of other stuff too. I think this someone was taking apart an old Kenworth, because these look like Kenworth doors. I don't really need them, but you never know, there might be some parts there. And some rear slide if I wanted to add a slider window to the sleeper. And a bunch of other stuff, some mirrors, just a whole bunch of shifter. I mean, I might not use all of it, but the chrome bands are still good to hold them on there. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I mean, you can't even get a cup of coffee for $5. And I got air cleaners. Sweet. Yeah, just so I suspected, they're off a Kenworth. But this newer plastic handle, I think they might have been off a B model from the 80s. But who knows, there might still be some parts I can steal off of here, or maybe even resell them and get my $5 back. Okay, so to get started here, one of the tricks that I've seen some other guys do in restorations, what they do is they take all the wheels off and then they just reinstall the outers. That way you've got this extra, I don't know, 12 inches of space all the way around, and you can keep the truck kind of a rolling chassis, which obviously this truck runs and drives, so I'm in a lot better shape than when I started working on the Peterbilt, because of course the Pete wasn't moving at all, so I just had to do everything where it sat. Where I want to keep this truck able to kind of, you know, spin it around. I can put it in the garage if I got to take the sleeper off, that kind of thing. So we'll get the wheels off, and then, like I say, we'll just put the outers back on. Now these are steel wheels. These are there's some 5 holes. There's a couple 5 holes, and then most of them are the more sought after 2 holes. And what I've seen some guys do is they actually get them dipped and chromed, and I think that looks really, really sharp. And they're kind of a rarity. You don't really see the 2 holes or the 5 holes anymore. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to save those for a future build because they are pretty sharp. But again, since we're doing kind of a replica truck of the movie, Snowman and Bandit there, they had the aluminum buds. And I bought a set off the same fellow I bought the hood off of. So we'll get the buds polished up and put on here for the finished project. But I'm going to keep these steelies around for sure. But yeah, hopefully that gives me some more space to work around the frame and get it cleaned up for paint. So we'll go ahead and get started. Now one thing, If you're not familiar with these buds, on the driver's side, you actually tighten to loosen. So they're backwards threads. So let's see how tight these guys are. Oh, boy, you got a big breaker bar. Oh. Oh. This is going to be fun. Maybe we'll try another one. Oh, that one's a lot easier. Okay, so some are stupid tight and seized, and others are not. So we'll just keep working away on that. I'll loosen all the nuts off, and then we'll jack it up. Nice thing about this truck as well is it's leafs, not airbags, so I don't have to lift the differentials one at a time like I did on the Pete. I can just lift this whole mess up and put it on jack stands. So we'll get rolling with that and get my exercise for the day. Whew, those steel wheels are heavy. You got to eat your Wheaties in the morning to get those off. Okay, so these are the inner buds. So obviously these were the nuts that held the outer wheel on, and then these guys are another lug nut, but they're it's got thread on it for the outer wheel. Now it was nice because sometimes when you're taking these guys off, the outer nuts, they'll capture the inner bud and then it gets stuck on there, and then you got two wheels stuck together because you got to be able to separate. So someone, I think, looks like used anti-seize somewhere along the way there. So thank you to the previous owner for not giving me a severe headache on that. But of course there's still 3 more wheels to go, but we'll try and get those off of there. Now you need a special socket with the square. I don't know if you can see it in the sunlight there, but it's got a square deal that fits on and allows you to take these inner buds off. So we'll put some Kroll oil on there, and hopefully none of these guys are seized, and we'll see if we can get that inner wheel off. Oh boy, that's not looking good. Now, I'm not sure if I just wore this socket out, but there seems to be a lot of play there, which when I try and use the breaker bar is going to round off the corners, and we sure as hell don't want that. I wonder if I need to go get a new socket. Yeah, these are not coming out nearly as nice as I was hoping they were gonna. Might need a little heat. Okay, so it shows that persistence pays off. I finally got one of them busted loose with the impact. So the way I did it was I threw some heat there. Now I know this is just a plumber's torch. I don't have a fully loaded shop with oxyacetylene, but it's something that I need for I'm gonna keep working on these old projects. So it's on the to-do list, but for now we're gonna use that. And then after I heated it up, I just hit it on the end with a sledgehammer to break the rust loose, and then it was able to come off. So only got to do that 39 more times. Old trucks are awesome. Oh, these old rusty Bud Pilot nuts are killing me. They're just kicking my ass. So I might need some more heat. I might have to go and get a real torch and heat them up properly to get them off of there. So we'll keep trying, working our way around, get the other wheels off, and see how far we get. Bummer. So I have just been having a treat of a time here, trying to get these old nuts off. So this is the back wheel. I was just trying to get the outer off. So they all came off except this bottom one here. What ended up happening was the dreaded, it actually started backing out the stud. And so the two wheels were captured together. So I believe there's a special tool to actually extract the nut from the stud, but I did it the old school way, and I just ground the hell out of it. And then I used a ridiculous 4-foot bar on top of the breaker bar, and I tightened it as tight as I could. And then I used the impact, and with the nut kind of cut, it released a lot of the pressure, and was able to get it off of there. Huh. Oh, these old wheels are such a treat. So I think there's a warning on here somewhere. There it is. Do not use extension pipe to increase leverage. Yeah, good advice. Oh man, these are just nasty. I guess I'm gonna have to get like I say, a real torch and try and heat them up, because they're just coming off like bears. Incredibly rusty and tight, just all the way off. Oh, I thought it's gonna be an easy part of the restoration, just taking the wheels off the truck. Take a break from the wheels for a bit, and I'm gonna remove some of the ugly. Welded on, that's why it wouldn't move. There. Okay, next I think we're going to take this bumper off of here. It's been pushed in on the right side, and it's pretty oxidized, so we'll take that off of there. Hopefully it comes off easier than the wheels. Just a handful of bolts. Now I do have a similar bumper that's in a lot better shape. Same guy that sold me the hood had the one off that 79, so I think that'll be a nice piece. It's not identical to the movie truck, because the movie truck just had a skinny rectangular, almost looked like channel iron. I'm not making a perfect movie truck, so I'm going to put a chrome bumper on here, because I don't like the look of the one in the movie.
I just run along beside it and drug my feet. You heard the legend of Jesse James and John Henry.
So we'll take that off of there, and that'll also make it easier to get the hood off. We'll eventually have to take the hood off and undo these set screws, and then take all this chrome off, and then we'll replace the hood with the one that I purchased. Fun and games. Okay, in the spirit of continuing at the disassembly, I'll get rid of these god-awful, ugly double snorkel air intakes. Yeah, actually I was surprised. There's actually a pretty clean filter element in there. I'm not too worried about running it straight pipe, because if I start it at all, it'll just be to kind of move it or turn it around. So it should be okay. One thing I overlooked though is the fact that because those air cleaners are so tall, I didn't realize that the mirrors had a different design. They kind of go up and out instead of just straight that they would have went on the lower style air cleaner, because the air cleaner is going to cap out about here. So I don't know if that'll look funny or not. I guess we'll see. But if it does, maybe that pile of junk I got from Ritchie Brothers has the straight bars that I can use, so we can make it look proper. So there you go. I didn't get a lot done today, but I got a little, got a start. Got a long way to go, but we'll get there.